come into this circle of community. Come into this sacred space. Be not tentative. Bring your whole self. Bring the joy that makes your heart sing. Bring your kindness and your compassion. Bring also your sorrow, your pain. Bring your brokenness and disappointments. Spirit of love and mystery, help us to recognize the spark of the divine that resides within each of us. May we know the joy of wholeness. May we know the joy of being together. Those words about community by Reverend Andy Pakula. And this week, it's exactly a year since I started offering these weekly video reflections to our community as I began a 6-month training placement with Gellion Chapel. And now, having been ordained as Gellion's minister last month, I want to use today's video to tell you a little bit more about what goes on here at Gellion and all the ways that you can get involved in our community and in our work if you would like to. Well, firstly, we hold services every Sunday at 10:45 in the morning, where we explore life's big questions. We mark special days, and we find time in our lives for peace and reflection in a very beautiful and sacred space. Our services will usually include a reading from the Bible and another from a different spiritual source, or perhaps a piece of poetry or a story. We sing hymns and we have music, some of it traditional, some of it modern, and there's a short address on a particular theme like compassion or peace or the natural world. There's also a time for silence and reflection, after which sometimes we have an opportunity to light a candle for someone or something that's important to us. After the service, we have teas and cakes and lots of opportunity to chat. It's an opportunity for a community to come together. Our services are not dogmatic. They're not about telling people what to believe. Instead, they're an opportunity for us to explore our spirituality and our faith together, to reflect on our lives, and to be together in a loving and a supportive community. This month, we've got a couple of special services coming up. Our harvest service on the 10th of October, with a special invitation to those with farming connections, when we'll be raising money for 2 charities which support farmers with their mental health. Then at the end of the month, on the 31st of October, we're holding a coronavirus remembrance service, remembering all those who've died during the pandemic, whether of COVID or another cause. And if you have the name of a loved one which you would like included in the service, please get in touch with me. Well, community life at Gellion is about more than just Sunday services. We have at least one social event a week. At the moment, we're holding events both in person and on Zoom, organised by our wonderful social and events volunteer team. We hold monthly online multi-faith LGBT faith gatherings. We have our social pub club nights in a local pub on the first Thursday of the month and on Zoom on the third Thursday. Then there's our coffee morning at the Graig Hall in Trebanos on the second Thursday of the month and on Zoom on the fourth Thursday. On the first Saturday morning of every month, we have our Gellion Mountain Mutts Dog Walkers group. And all throughout the year, we have a whole range of special events supporting local charities and our community. Every Christmas, we organise a community overnight Christmas coach trip, and this year we're off to Windsor and Oxford. That trip is now fully booked, but we're very excited that in 2022, we'll be organising not only our Christmas trip, but also a summer trip to Bruges in Belgium from the 4th to the 7th of August in 2022. And there are still spaces available for that trip if you would like to join us. Well, the last thing that I want to talk about today is our plans for the Graig Chapel and Graig Hall in Trebanos. A few years ago, the Graig Chapel sadly closed, like so many chapels and churches across the country. The chapel and its hall are owned by Gallionin Chapel, and as a congregation, we've been exploring all the options for its future. Just in this area alone, we can see chapels which have been converted into homes, turned into boxing gyms, yoga centres and businesses, and sadly many which have remained empty and have fallen into a state of disrepair. And we've taken the decision that rather than selling the Graig Chapel and Hall, we want to explore the possibilities of restoring the hall to community use. And so we're inviting the whole community in Trebanos and beyond to join us on Saturday, the 9th of October, anytime between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. at the Graig Hall. We want to invite you to come along and have a look round, have a cup of tea, talk to us about what you'd like to see happen to the hall, what you feel Trebanos needs in terms of community space, and to share your ideas with us. And we'll be joined by local councillor and Mayor Rebecca Phillips, and I hope very much that you will join us too. Well, I hope that in this video, I've given you a snapshot into just some of the ways that you can get involved in our community's life and work. But the most important thing that I want to say today is that you are welcome, and that I look forward to seeing you at one of our services or community events sometime soon. Well, I leave you now with these words of blessing. Boed i chi gael eich bendithio, gyda chenhesrwydd yn eich cartref, cariad yn eich calon, heddwch yn eich enaid, a llawenydd drwy eich holl fywyd. May you be blessed with warmth in your home, love in your heart, peace in your soul, and joy your whole life through. Amen.